I want to try an experiment. Hey, did you see how Gustafsson played last night?
Oh, he was just awful. Pretty much the reason the Leafs lost.
Well, I don't know, man. The Leafs took a lot of penalties. He made 26 saves on 30 shots.
It doesn't matter, man. Jonas Gustafsson just isn't getting it done. He's the reason the Leafs lost. He's not a good enough goaltender. I don't even think he should be in the NHL.
Okay, well, I guess I see your... Oh, wait. Oh, it looks like they made a mistake on the box score. Reimer was in net last night.
Oh, that was him? Oh, well, gee, you can't expect the guy to carry the team each and every game. What, is he going to stop every puck? He's got to get a shutout for the team to win? Come on, Leafs. And then, yes, please do.
What a great goal.
Dude, crazy throwing waffles. Woo. Who are you?
Optimus Prime.
Gustafsson, bobblehead. Bobblehead only. Adequate defense not included. Just like in real life. Leafs lose 4-2 to the Philadelphia Flyers. And yeah, I'm going to talk a bit about Gustafsson in this one. Number one, I wish the Leafs would stop scoring first. Last time they did it, it was Dave Steckel, and they lost 6-2 to Boston. This time, Phil Kessel, yay, they're up 1-0, lose 4-2. This goal actually shows just how deadly Phil Kessel has been this year. The point-blank chances he's had alone on Price, on Bobrovsky, he will finish. 9 goals and 15 points in 8 games. Both of those totals lead the entire NHL. And it's just amazing to me that he's been able to maintain such speed and balance because he's carrying the team on his back. But that good mood didn't last for too long. You know why? I got the moves like Yager. Yager scoring on a breakaway goal on the power play. That's sign number one that Gus wasn't getting too much help. The first ballot Hall of Famer being allowed to break away on the power play, yeah. Tie game. And before we get to the second period, I really got to mention this. Really hope Chris Pronger's okay. That looks scary. And the Leafs were carving Flyers all night, being really irresponsible with the high sticks. This one by Grabo, though, I'm not 100% convinced. I'll show you slow-mo. If you slow it down, and maybe your eyes disagree with mine, it looks like the shaft of Pronger's stick redirects Grabo's stick slightly off the path it was going on, and it just nails him in the eye. And like Sportsnet Radio's Rob Wong tweeted last night, for a guy like Pronger to go off the ice screaming, you know it had to be bad. Right now, they're saying he'll be out about 2 to 3 weeks, which frankly is surprising. I thought he'd be out for longer. And Adam Proto of the Hockey News started this ball rolling. Should visors be mandatory in the NHL? I don't want to get too into it. Maybe I'll do a blog. Maybe I'll do another video. I want to keep this one short. Should visors be mandatory? Second period, Gustafsson is doing any and everything to keep the Leafs in the game. Somehow he manages to keep it tied for most of the second, stopping another Yager breakaway because why not? Remember I said, hey, if you want the first of something, come play the Leafs? Yager, first goal since 2008. Then who scores on the power play with a completely overwhelmed Jonas Gustafsson? Scott Hartnell, his first of the year. Come on down. Next time the Leafs come out on the road, I'm half expecting to hear the Ghostbusters theme. Do slump busters! In a slump, come on down. Don't know what it is, it's a curse. Now about halfway through the third, Leafs not named Phil Kessel still haven't put anything past Bobrovsky, and Scott Hartnell manages to score again. Of the 4 goals that Gustafsson let in, this was my least favorite. Just a couple minutes later though, finally a ray of light. A real bull in the China shop play by Matt Fratton, really getting it in there, and just managed to tip off Steckel, and it goes in. I just had stacks! Hey, it was my turn to do the singing part. That's as close as the Leafs would get. About 5 minutes left. Yager, another breakaway. Beats Gustafsson basically the same way, 4-2 final. Gus could have played it differently, but I still have a hard time blaming a goalie on a breakaway. Now let me clarify. If you don't think Gustafsson's a very good goalie, I'm fine with that because there's many arguments to support that. Inconsistent? Well, there's probably more. But to say this game was Gustafsson's fault couldn't be further from the truth. Leafs scored 2 goals. The only way they would win this game is if Gus let in 2 and they won in the shootout, Gus let in 1, or Gus got a shutout. Reimer's allowed 3 or more goals in 3 of the 6 games he's played. That's 50%. To me, a bigger problem on the Leafs, yeah, you look at the defense, they've been kind of shaky, but the offense, and it figures because they have the top goal scorer and point getter in the entire league. But here's something, the Leafs only have 8 players that have scored a goal so far this season, and they've played 8 games. One of those 8 players is a regular healthy scratch, Colton Orr, and it was on his only shot. Ready for this? Only 3 teams in the NHL have fewer goal scorers than the Leafs. The Devils, the Islanders, and the Oilers. The Kings are tied. But no, you're right, goaltending's the problem. The Leafs are 5-2-1. That's a pretty respectable record. But here's the problem. All 5 of those wins came against Canadian teams. And the problem with that is those teams are 26th in the league, Ottawa, 27th, Calgary, 28th, Winnipeg, and 29th, Montreal. And hey, to have the Leafs ranked so highly amongst the Canadian teams, that should be music to Leafs fans' ears. Leafs gotta be able to beat better opponents. They get a couple days off, and then they take on the Rangers in New York, get another day off, and they go back home to face the Penguins. You gotta be able to get at least 2 of those 4 points, and then hopefully at least 1 against Ottawa the next night after Pittsburgh. And for the Leafs' next game against the Rangers, they might get Tim Connolly in the lineup finally, and James Reimer. Because of the current roster situation, there's a lot of injuries. Connolly's just making his Leaf debut. We don't really have a good idea of what this team is. But when we finally find out, I hope it's not a team that can only beat the bottom 5 teams in the league. And here's a question I'm going to leave you with, and you can leave it in the comment box. What is your absolute 100% ideal Leafs lineup, healthy and the way it is? So no trades, waivers, signings, sending down one-way contracts, anything like that. What is your ideal Leafs lineup when it's healthy? So riddle me that. Leafs are 5-2-1 through about 10% of the season. Add me on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, all the stuff in the underbar.
By the way, you still haven't added me as a friend on Flynn.